Hey, what's up? It's Privacy J here. It's time to continue my new MacBook Pro update. So, it's been a minute for you guys about what we're talking about because I haven't heard about this for like a speech today because about what I haven't heard about it for like the last update because let's do I'm gonna do some like a retake about a new MacBook Pro update. So let's get on to it. So the M4 MacBook Pro might be the one of the first worthy upgrades for the Apple Silicon Mac users. Last October, Apple announced the M4 MacBook Pro on the Surface. It looks like yet another MacBook Pro spec bump. However, the number of the key features that make it worth upgrading to, even if you already have an older 14-inch MacBook Pro. Why M4? There's recently been a pretty big flip in a MacBook Pro pricing, which gradually took place over the past year or so. First, Apple introduced a new entry-level MacBook Pro at $1,599 in 2023 with baseline M3. Then it up to the base memory to 16 gigabytes and remove some of the biggest compromises with M4. The two events, in short, mean that you can now buy a MacBook Pro with 512 gigabytes of storage and 16 gigabytes of memory for $1,599 directly from Apple, which previously started at $1,999. Sure, you won't be buying a pro chip at that price. In my opinion, though, all of the upsides outweigh that one loss. Far better battery life. Without having a pro chip, you're able to take a huge leap in the battery life. Baseline Apple Silicon is a lot more power efficient. Uh, According to Apple's website, the M1 Pro 14-inch MacBook Pro can handle up to 11 hours of web browsing on a single charge. With the M4 14-inch MacBook Pro, there you can get up to 16 hours. That's a nearly 50% improvement just in that one metric. I noticed around double the battery life between the two, mainly because power drain from background apps is reduced substantially. M1 Pro only has two efficient cores versus the six of M4. Idle tasks aren't going to consume as much power with the M4. It still blows my mind how large of over year, over over year leap there was in the battery life. I'm rarely recharging my MacBook Pro in the middle of the day now. Screen improvements. With all 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro models have mini LED plays, there's a massive improvements with more recent model standard brightness. With M1 Pro and M2 Pro 14-inch MacBook Pro, Apple only offered up to 500 nits of standard non-HDR brightness. M3 features up to 600. Now, with the M4 MacBook Pro, you can utilize up to 1000 nits of standard brightness. That makes a huge difference of outdoor visibility. With the third-party apps like Vivid, $10 one-time purchase if you're interested, it was possible to unlock additional brightness on your older 14-inch or 16-inch MacBook Pro. After all, there they all include mini LED panels which have the capability of going up to 1600 nits while consuming HDR content. These apps essentially allow you to tap into this HDR brightness even while looking at standard content. While the third-party apps are a great solution, it's just incredibly nice to have a high level of standard brightness. It goes a long way towards making my M4 MacBook Pro feel more like my M4 iPad Pro, which also offers 1000 nits of standard brightness. Improved webcam. Apple toted new 1080p webcams with the 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro in 2021, while they were a decent upgrade over the previous 720p webcams. They were never particularly remarkable. With the M4 generation, Apple added the 12-megapixel center stage camera to the MacBook Pro for the first time. This was a feature that initially debuted on the iPad and later was introduced on the Studio Display. Center stage utilizes an ultra-wide camera with its much wider field of view. You can fit much more into perspective. However, you can also enable face tracking, allowing your perspective to appear normal whilst also tracking where you are in the room. It's pretty nifty and makes MacBooks a far more viable device for the FaceTime, something I previously reserved for my iPad. It also enables desk view, which does exactly what it says on the tin. Not to mention the fact these cameras are also higher resolution performance. You might think that going from an M1 Pro chip to an M4 chip would yield a performance downgrade. If your workflow is extremely reliant on GPU performance, this might not be the upgrade for you. If you don't fall into that bucket, though, M1 Pro to M4 is net win, mainly because there's 3 years of performance leaps that really close that gap between a Pro chip and the baseline chip. In Geekbench 6, M1 Pro scores around 2386 in single core performance and around 12,344 in multi-core performance. M4 that scores around 3750 in the score performance, 14,704 in multi-core performance. That's a 57% leap in single core and a 19% leap in multi-core performance, dispute being a low-end chip, and M4 while being 19% faster in multi-core also takes a huge leap in neural engine performance, all at a fraction of the power draw. With Apple investing more and more in AI, having a newer chipset might pay off. Anecdotally, M4 will also kick up the fans less regularly and won't feel as warm on your lap. A wrap up. It may seem boring to upgrade 2 MacBooks in the same design generation, however dispute looking the same. These 2 computers feel remarkably different, with fluctuating tariff policy and Apple price hikes being on the table. It might not be the best idea to wait around for the future MacBook releases. There are some great deals right now, and there's a strong possibility of them changing for the worse. The best 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro deals is these cost like higher expenses. So yeah. So anyways, that's gonna be it for today's MacBook Pro update. So keep in mind for that. And I'll let you guys know when to ever give you guys a heads up from it. So and stay tuned for like next week or 2. So I'm not 100% sure yet when it's due to like a stream rules update. So I'll let you guys know when I'm gonna do. So the next video will be tomorrow coming soon. So keep in mind. So fingers crossed. So like and comment and subscribe and let me know about it. So if you're gonna subscribe to my 3 channels, Privacy J Productions 1, 2, and 3, and my content, all of my social medias will let you know about it. Oh, thank you, Ms. Shannon. And Facebook, my name is Shannon Garcia. Instagram is JTech727. Snapchat is Schools0727. And follow me on X, Privacy JNYC1. So thanks for watching and peace out.